This team, for the guys that have been here all along, they went through every single peak and valley. I think even this third iteration of this team has gone through a bunch of peaks and valleys. I'm just incredibly proud of our team. It's an accomplishment to win 50 games in the regular season in any year. I think particularly in this year, in this Western Conference, it is, and it's a credit to our players. Each one at different points in time has contributed to winning. They've all participated in a winning culture. And our coaching staff, our performance staff, everybody down the line, so it's a great group to be a part of. We want to go win one more game, and we'll figure out Sunday who we play in the first round.
The way that kind of Luka played on the trip and then coming into today and the rhythm that he's in going into the playoffs, and just how significant do you think all of that is considering the rest of your team and kind of how it's coalescing?
Yeah, I think it's great for Luka. All three of those guys, Bron, AR, and Luka, I think this last week and a half have really found a nice rhythm, not just individually, but within what we're trying to do and playing together and using each other to create advantages. And we started working yesterday. We spent about 45 minutes this morning starting to just map out. We obviously don't know when we're going to play, but starting to map out next week. And it's going to be important over the next 8-9 days to stay in that rhythm, and we have to be smart about it. But there's still got to be some work next week. We want to prioritize rest and recovery, of course, but we got to also stay in that rhythm.
Speaking of recovery, LeBron checked out halfway through the third quarter, didn't return. We saw a wrap on his left side. Can you tell us something about how he's feeling?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
But you Eagles fan?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I only root for winners. I only root for winners. The Eagles, Florida Gators. I'm just kidding.
Hey, JJ, entering into media day, your first season, you said this is going to take time. You guys clinched the 3rd seed. You just had multiple ice buckets poured on you. How would you say your first season went?
It's not done. And I spent all of 3.5 minutes on the flight back from Dallas just thinking about making the playoffs and thinking about the coaching profession. And I think as a coach, you're obviously judged on regular season wins and losses and your ability to get to the playoffs. But I think the other two things that you're really judged on are the way you're able to handle the pressure of the playoffs, the adjustments, the in-game stuff. There's still so much work that we have to do, myself, our staff. And then I think you're also judged on the culture you create and whether or not your players and everybody in the building like coming to work.
Starts to spread through the roster. Dorian Finney-Smith believes he can see the ball go in. Everybody else continues to have that confidence shooting the ball from the perimeter. So it's impressive and contagious that he gets off to good starts as often as he does.
He's very confident. He just looks like the type of player that he doesn't think anybody can stop him from doing what he wants to do. I know there's some great defense out there, like they didn't have their best players, but just on a regular basis, he seems to get where he wants to get to. He seems to be able to get a shot off or make a pass. So that's a lot of confidence right there, and it is contagious when you have somebody on the floor leading like that and the ball's going through the hoop. It definitely gives the rest of the team a big boost, and it's nice to see that he can control that early in the game, when they need it. A good boost.
Dorian Finney-Smith was great tonight again. 18 points, 6 of 8 from 3. He's had 12 threes the last 2 games against the Rockets. So if they do match up at some point down the line, I can guarantee Dorian Finney-Smith will be one of the keys. Let's talk a little Austin Reed, since we just heard from him, guys. 23 points, 9 of 15, 3 for 6 fish. The efficiency, the 6 assists, the 7 rebounds, just really kind of fitting into that role perfectly next to LeBron and Luka.
Yeah, I mean, the attention that the two of those guys, bring to themselves, the amount of gravitational pull, which we talked about earlier. The Lakers have talked about this a lot. Like, Austin Reeves is now seeing, no disrespect to anybody guarding him, but he's seeing maybe the third best perimeter defender on the Lakers, on the opponent's side of it. The best defensive player might go to Luka, second best maybe to LeBron. Now the third best perimeter defender is trying to cover Austin in screen roll, and that's tough to do. And so Austin's taking advantage of it, doing a great job playing off two superstar Hall of Fame guys.
He's a problem.
He is.
He's a problem, and he's a threat. Usually, in the past, maybe more today, you'll find more ball handlers. But to have your third guy be just as good a ball handler and decision maker as Luka and LeBron is, and can score and can shoot, and can draw fouls, maybe a little bit, I'm not going to say better than those two, but just as good. He gets to the line because he knows how to feel and get the bump and make that shot. So, yeah, that's a problem from a coaching standpoint, how you prepare for that. When you have three guys that are handling the ball that well and that efficient, he's going to be a threat, and he's focused on both ends. He'll take charges. He'll make smart decisions on the defensive end. So Reeves he's definitely arrived, and he's a problem.
I don't want to go to the highlight until I just mention, there was a scare during that game with LeBron. He didn't play after that. We'll hear from him, hopefully. And it seemed like everything was okay as he was watching the game and smiling and being his normal self. But there was just a little scare there for a second.
It was is. Anytime it's, particularly when it's like a non-contact situation, you just kind of stretch a little bit. But that's something, it's an ongoing injury fish and something he's dealt with most of his career there.
Yeah, no, very, very concerning. When this initially happened, his reaction, as well as ours, when you see a non-contact situation like that, like James was just saying, it's normally not a great sign. But, his body language, his energy, the rest of the game, celebrating not being in the play-in, jumping up and down with Austin.
Yeah, I think if it was serious, he wouldn't.
Looks like it's not going to be an issue.
You got to remember, we're seeing the feed that they're going to show. So when it's a commercial break for the fans at home, we're watching that over and over again. Mm-hmm. Our concern was a little higher than most, just because, like you said, we're not used to seeing LeBron. Yeah, facial expressions and all that.
But you take care of business tonight, then that means